It's Friday afternoon again. It's been a couple of weeks since I've uploaded a video on a Friday afternoon. I am a creature of habit. I get that from my dad. My dad is super successful, super driven. He's also a very regimented person. He has a regimented schedule that he keeps. My dad's so routine, I can tell you exactly where he is any time of the day. Very little deviation in his schedule. When something happens that does cause a deviation, it really bothers him and eats at him. I'm the same way. I have a routine, a schedule that I keep. If something gets in the way of it and throws me off schedule, it throws me off the rest of the day. I think when you work for yourself, when you rely on yourself for income, you gotta be this way because otherwise you can always find an excuse not to get work done. One of the problems, though, with this mindset, if I take a Friday afternoon off one week, like I have for the past couple of weeks, it becomes part of my new routine. So we're going to break that habit today. We are returning to the original upload schedule for the channel. And this afternoon, we are talking about one of our favorite race baiters, the Queen of Queefs, the Witch of Woke, one of the first entrants into the Woke Hall of Fame, the woman with the Beetlejuice face, the one, the only, Jemele Hill. Ooh, Jemele. Much like Father Jalen this morning, it's been a little while since we've talked about Sister Jemele Hill. She just wrapped season 3 of her incredibly unpopular podcast back in June. Jemele Hill is Uncucumbered. Jemele Hill is a rarity in the woke movement. Most shitfucks, they are willing to cucumber anything with a hole, until it comes to the prospect of cucumbering Jemele Hill. Even after all these years, she cannot find a willing participant. She is forced to spend weekends alone practicing the art of self-pleasure. Yesterday, Jemele Hill was the guest on Kenny Mayne's podcast. Well, KC, I didn't know Kenny Mayne had a podcast. Yeah, neither did anyone else. It appears to be exclusive to Odyssey, which sucks because I couldn't download the audio I wanted to share with you. That's one thing I don't like about these podcasting platforms. They make it impossible, at least for me, I can't figure it out. They make it impossible to download audio to share with you guys. I was only able to pull audio from clips that Kenny Mayne shared on Twitter. And my God, this podcast was painfully boring. This episode was over an hour. I only made it through the first 15 minutes. Trust me, I took one for the team here. For one, like I said, it was painfully boring. But two, after 15 minutes, hell, after the first 5 minutes, I heard all I needed to hear. First, we're going to start out with some audio that I'm able to share with you. I apologize in advance for exposing you guys to this. This clip is incredibly confusing. As you guys know, anytime you have Jemele Hill on a podcast, you're going to talk about mythical racism. She begins talking about ESPN playing both sides of the mythical racism fence. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the musings of two dumbasses. Roll the clip.
We all have been taught from the beginning in J school, both sides. There's two sides to every story. You know, get both sides of an issue. And sometimes that is actually true, that you should do that. But sometimes if you both sides dumb shit, what you do is wind up undermining your credibility. There's no both sides to racism. There's not another side. Okay? There's no other side to that.
Right. I mean, that's like when you get into the both sides thing, you know, to simplify it, if 2 + 2 is 4, I'm pretty sure that's true. But you could have somebody on the other side, no, it's 5 or 4.5. And then they would present that as though there's a chance that the 4.5, 5 answer is equal in value to the 4 answer when we all know 2 + 2 is 4. It's indisputable.
Right. It's completely indisputable.
Remember, you were talking about old, axioms from journalism school. I love the one, I forget who came up with this originally. It's like, if one side says it's raining and the other side says it's not raining, get the fuck outside and find out if it's raining. And it's either raining or it's not raining. And there's your report.
They use this as a promotional clip to get people to listen to this podcast. Did any of that make any sense to you? For starters, what the fuck was Kenny Mayne talking about? Had he been drinking? It sounded like Jemele Hill was in the middle of tossing his word salad as he was speaking. I listened to that clip 3 times. I cannot figure out the point that he was trying to make. During the interview, the Witch of Woke opened up about her time working at ESPN. More specifically, when she was tanking the ratings on SportsCenter. Before she accepted the promotion to SportsCenter, Jemele Hill claims that she was approached by several woke colleagues. They were concerned virgins. Jemele, I am worried executives won't let you be yourself on SportsCenter. Please do not change. Continue being the race hustler that we've come to know and love. I cannot go on living without hearing your created stories of mythical racism. Please, I beg you, don't take that away from us. She speaks about what she called creative issues between herself and management, meaning ESPN management wanted SportsCenter to remain hard news about sports, and Jemele Hill wanted to turn the show into a full hour of Orange Man Bad. She again claimed that ESPN was playing both sides of the fence. They were trying to appease people that can never be pleased. They will not allow me to preach the good word and invite recruits to Woke United Methodist. When Jemele Hill says people who can't be pleased, she's talking about you and me. Jemele Hill claims that we are wrong when we say ESPN's too political. The problem with ESPN's not that it's too political, although I'll admit that is a huge problem at the network. I watch ESPN to watch documentaries like The Captain about Derek Jeter. I watch for Monday Night Football or the NBA, college basketball. I don't tune into ESPN to hear about fucking abortion rights. It's not that ESPN's too political. The problem is they're too woke. Dissenting opinions are not allowed. Elle Duncan, for example, she's allowed to go on SportsCenter and pollute the minds of the uninformed about the dangers of gun violence. She never talks about the real gun violence in Chicago or Seattle, New York City. No. Elle Duncan only talks about the mythical gun violence, exaggerating the number of mass shootings every year. As someone like Sage Steele offers a counterpoint, they fucking suspend her. One of the requirements for working at ESPN, you either got to be a graduate of Woke U or a member of Woke United Methodist. Jemele Hill, she then uttered the words that should never, ever be associated with the worldwide leader in woke. And to be honest, this should not be all that surprising. Jemele Hill's a known liar. I have heard a lot of good bullshit lately, but seriously, this might be the best bullshit I've heard. Are you ready for this? Jemele Hill claimed ESPN has a conservative culture. What? A conservative culture at the worldwide leader in woke? Are you out of your fucking mind? Clearly, Jemele Hill doesn't know what the word conservative means. Her definition of conservative is birthing person who only attends services at Woke United Methodist once per month. Also, conservative can be used to describe someone who has yet to experience cucumber penetration. Conservative culture at ESPN? Let me show you guys some examples of what Jemele Hill classifies as conservative. Watch for yourself.
I think it's standard in sports right now. You have to have a cognitive dissonance. You need to compartmentalize. We've never had a more enjoyable NFL playoffs in this country, and we've never had more people watching the playoffs, and yet it goes on amid the ongoing allegations against Dan Snyder, owner of the Washington football team, and the continuous concussion concerns, and now the concerns about diversity and the allegations and the questions about competitive integrity even, all of that, and yet we're still enjoying the games. And who are we to criticize China's human rights records when we have ongoing attacks by the agents of the state against unarmed citizens, and we've got assaults on the voting rights of our people of color in various states in this country?
Legislation happening in Florida and across other states as well that are targeting our LGBTQI plus communities. Many of our colleagues here at ESPN have planned and organized a walkout that will be happening at 3 p.m. Eastern today. And to be honest with you, we thought we were going to come here today and really celebrate a sport that has meant so much and done so much, including for so many in the LGBTQI plus communities. But we understand the gravity of this legislation and also how it is affecting so many families across this country. And because of that, our allyship is going to take a front seat. And with that, we're going to pause in solidarity.
Pride is about inclusion, so you don't love them and you don't welcome them if you're not willing to wear the patch. And calling it a lifestyle reveals to me that you've done not even a modicum of research or understanding on this topic, which is what tends to happen when a privileged class isn't affected by things. This is not just about baseball. That religious exemption BS, which is used in sport and otherwise, also allows for people to be denied health care, jobs, apartments, children, prescriptions, all sorts of rights. And so we have to stop tiptoeing around it because we're trying to protect people who are trying to be bigoted from asking for them to be exempt from it when the very people that they are bigoted against are suffering the consequences.
When you say
Did any of that sound conservative to you? I pulled all of those clips from my video library from this year alone. I could have spent another hour playing clip after clip of the blatant propaganda pushed on ESPN just in the last 7 months. Jemele Hill claimed ESPN was conservative because no one was on the air discussing immigration reform or healthcare reform. We were only allowed to discuss mythical racism. They would not allow us to talk about healthcare reform. Their insurance wouldn't cover my transition into a woman. To this day, I still get mistaken for a man. This fucking woman is delusional. I swear to God, Jemele Hill's out of her mind. Anytime she is interviewed, the entire interview is centered around her time at ESPN. You want to know why? Because Jemele Hill has accomplished nothing since losing the ESPN platform. Her podcast on Spotify is an unmitigated disaster, the worst deal in the mainstream media. She has a rating of 2 out of 10 stars on IMDb with just 21 people voting. Her YouTube channel is a disgrace. Jemele Hill supposedly has over 1 million followers on Twitter, yet the majority of her videos on YouTube struggle to attract 2,000 viewers. Some videos get less than 1,000. This shitfuck was given a national platform, and she can't build an audience here on YouTube. Jemele Hill continues to claim that she left ESPN of her own volition. I ain't buying it. She was suspended a couple of times right before her contract came up for renewal. I don't think ESPN wanted her back. I think Jemele Hill was too radical for the wokest network on television, and she's been bitter about it ever since. Every time she's interviewed, she's talking about ESPN and hadn't worked there in 4 years. But anyway, it's time for me to get out of here. Happy hour is calling my name, but I will be back this weekend. Let me know what you think. Jemele Hill, with a straight face, claims the culture at ESPN is conservative. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.